Then coming to the model 1, the conduction and the breakdown in gas, liquid and the solid dielectric medias. First we are going to discuss the concept of conduction and breakdown phenomenon in gas. Okay, so that is nothing but gas as insulating material or media. So this is the very simplest and most commonly used dielectric media or the gases. Uh, and some of the other gases which we can mention as nitrogen, carbon dioxide, freon and the sulfur hexafluorides. So electrical discharges in gases are of two types, that is a non-sustaining and self-sustaining. Before that we should understand how actually there is a conduction that takes places. Let's consider when the low voltage is applied, a small current flows between the electrode and the insulation will retains, means electrical properties will retains. So if the voltage, applied voltage is greater and there is the current flowing through the insulation and increases very sharply, and the electrical breakdown may takes places. So this is what it is mainly depending upon withstanding voltage and the temperature, pressure, the gas media, okay, the media between those two electrodes it plays an important role. So here there are the two different type of discharges. One is non-sustaining discharges and self-sustaining discharges. However, the air or gases we can consider these are non-sustaining into self-sustaining. So the once the breakdown voltage is increases, means the voltage increases to the breakdown value after the conduction, it will regain the property. That's what we can consider as a non-sustaining to self-sustain. However, whereas in case this will retains, means it will come back to normal immediately, but it will take times in liquid, but it's not possible whereas in case of the insulators, because once there is non-sustaining, so it won't retain the properties, electrical properties. Some of the theories which is trying to explain these concepts are Townsend theory, streamers and Passion's law, all those things that we are going to discuss. So here uh, it is mainly, I told you, it is mainly depending upon the pressure, temperature, the configuration of the electrodes and nature of the electrodes. Then now we are going to try to understand uh, the collision process, how actually there is a collision that takes places. There are the two types of the collisions. One is elastic collision and another one is inelastic collision. So what do you mean by elastic collision? This is nothing but there is no change in the internal energy. Okay, internal energy will be remains the same, but only their kinetic energy will get redistributed. However, this kind of the collision will not take place in the phenomenon. However, we are trying to understand this phenomenon. Let's I can say it is one electron which is considered, which is moving. Okay, one electron which is considered, which is moving in zigzag fashion. Okay, E minus, which will move in very different media depending upon the temperature, pressure, okay, configuration of the electrodes. So when it is moving in this fashion, because it is in light and weight, and will transfers a part of the energy because of the kinetic motion, and some of the atoms which are heavier, or I can say it is the gas molecules with which they collide. Means one electron which is collided with some other atoms. These atoms are very compared to the electrons. These are weight is high compared to these electrons, and part of the energy will transfer to the atom, and resulting in there is a losing of the energy. And these are much lighter. So because of this, so it will move at very high speed. So This is plays a very important or leading role in the elastic collisions, but however are not taken into consideration. Okay, then coming to the inelastic collision, most of the things which we are considering are inelastic. Okay, what do you mean by inelastic? In this, the internal energy, okay, takes places within the atom. Okay, and the expenses of the total kinetic energy of the colliding particle. So it is nothing but the internal energy will changes after colliding with the another atom. So like we can give the example like ionization, attachment, excitation, recombinations, or these are all the which is example for the inelastic. Okay. So about this ionization, attachment, excitation, recombination, which we are going to discuss later. Okay. Then coming to the before understanding, directly go to the concept. We should understand some of the definitions. Okay, how actually the electrons and ionization, what is the area of the contact among different type of the ionization, different type of the electrons or the atoms. So since what is how actually the charge concentration will distribute, that we are going to understand. So first one is the mobility of ions and the electrons. Okay, when an ion moves through a gas under the influence of static uniform electric field, it gains the energy because of the electric field between the two electrodes, and some sort of the energy will losses during the collision. So because of the electric field between the two electrodes, it will gain, and because of the collision, it will lose the energy. So electronic force, it is resulting in there is an acceleration. Okay, when the energy gained by the ions from the electric field, if it is small compared with respect to the thermal energy, means ionization, the area of the contact is greater compared with respect to the thermal energy. So it is mainly drift velocity is directly proportional to the electric field intensity, that's nothing but E. Okay, so this is nothing but the mobility of the ions and the electrons. Then next concept is diffusion coefficients. Let's okay. So suppose if there is a number of the charges which are freely suspended uh, in a free space, these electrons which are uh, randomly they are going to distribute it themselves. Okay, that is nothing but we can call it as the diffusion coefficients. When 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 particles possessing energy which is exhibited as a random motion are distributed unevenly throughout a space, then they tend to redistribute themselves uniformly throughout the space. Means these concentration, these are the charges which are freely suspended, will they are going to distribute themselves freely. Suppose, okay, so this is nothing but we can call it as diffusion. Okay, diffusion, and the rate at which this occurrence is by diffusion passing through a unit area in unit time perpendicular to the charge concentration gradient. Okay, so suppose I can consider that there is some of the charges which are present in high concentration charge concentration gradient to low charge concentration gradient, means there is some of the charges will move from high concentration gradient to the low charge concentration gradient. This is nothing but we can understand in simple words, that is the meaning of diffusion coefficient. Okay, then what is the collision cross section? Before that we should understand the electron energy distribution. So there are the two theories, two different concepts. One is Maxwellian distribution, where we can apply this the thermal equilibrium between the electrons and the molecules. Then we can say it is a Maxwellian. And next one is the Drusterian distribution applies. And the electron or the ion energy is much greater than the thermal. So these are the two theories, two concepts which we are going to apply. The next one is the collision cross section. Collision cross section is defined as the contact between, this is the defined, okay, as the area of the contact between two particles during the collisions. So I can say it is some of the Qi, this is okay, total Qt is equal to Qi, this is ionization, Qe is nothing but excitation, Qc is nothing but chemical reaction. Suppose you can give examples. This is the area of the contact, whereas in case of, okay, whereas in case of ionization is greater than compared to that excitation, or okay, excitation. So this will be not uniform for ionization, okay, excitation and the chemical reactions. In place of this, we are going to, okay, we are going to apply mean free path. That is a more advantages compared to the collision cross section. So this is what we can consider it is the mean free path, that is a lambda. Okay, it is nothing but it is defined as average distance between the two collisions. This is nothing but the average distance between the two collisions. Okay, it is depending upon the initial energy. Okay, it is depending upon the initial energy of the colliding electron, and the distance between the two collisions varies. So that is nothing but we have given lambda is equal to k by p. That is lambda is equal to k is equal to, that is a, okay, k is nothing but constant, p is the pressure in microns. Then compared to the next concept, that is nothing but ionization process. What do you mean by ionization? Okay, so ionization is nothing but, okay, the process of liberating an electron from a gas molecule, the simultaneous production of a positive ion. So this is the definition which you need to understand. What do you mean by ionization? This is nothing but liberating an electron from the gas molecule with simultaneous production of positive ion is called ionization. So preliminary responsible for the breakdown of the gases are by ionization by the collision, okay, photoionization, secondary ionization process, and the insulating gases or electron attachment. So these are the process which we are going to understand. Now I am looking at the ionization by collision. Okay, let's consider this, okay, arrangement for study of the Townsend theory. So these two, this is one electrode, okay, and it is given to supply, okay, and we have some ammeter. So I have to measure what is the current which is flowing through the element, and there is one current limiting resistor. I have to protect this ammeter, okay. So I am applying, that is a current limiting resistor. So there is nothing but we understood the concept ionization by collision, okay, liberating of electrons from the gas molecule with simultaneous production of the positive ion. This is nothing but a ionization. Okay, let's see. So this is nothing but when I am increasing the voltage between these two electrodes, okay, resulting in there is an electron, okay, there is an electron across the cathode. This is nothing but E, okay, which is liberated across the cathode element, and there is an electric field between these two, okay, electric field between these two, okay, that is nothing but the cathode element and the anode element. So that is nothing but I can express as E, electric field, okay, between these two electrodes. Okay, so when the voltage is increasing, between these two, there is a liberation of the electrons. This electron is going to collide with an one atom, okay, resulting in there is a positive ion and liberation of the new additional electron. This is nothing but we can consider as ionization by the collision. But however, when this will happen, okay, epsilon value is nothing but if the energy gain, okay, energy gain during the travel, okay, between the collision exceeds the ionization potential. Okay, epsilon is greater than the Vi. This is Vi. Vi is nothing but if it is exceeds the ionization potential of the gas between these two electrodes, then resulting in there is an additional liberation of the positive atom and the electrons will takes places, resulting in dislots and formation of the electrons will takes places. Epsilon at the Vi. It is, and also we can see to that there is an UV light is falling on the element, that is nothing but which we are, there is a some light which is falling on the element. The cathode also it having the some energy barrier. Okay, once this UV light is falling on the element, it exceeds the ionization potential. Additional, there is some liberation of the electrons may takes places. So this is the responsible. Okay, what I can understand. So this is the electron which is flowing. Okay, when it is moving from cathode to the anode, again this electron and so this electrons, two electrons again colliding with some other atom. Okay, again there is an increase in the ionization. So total number of the electrons which are reaching to the anode, this is the anode, is greater than the total number of the electrons which are liberated from the cathode. I can say it is around 1 electron which is produced across the cathode. I can consider that it is a 10 number of the collision which is takes place as I can say it is a 10 number of the electrons which is reaching to the anode. So the total number of the anode, total number of the electrons which are reaching to the anode is greater than the total number of the electrons which is liberated across the cathode. It is mainly depending upon the temperature, pressure, all those parameters. Okay, then so this is nothing but we should understand the um, concept of collision. Okay, then next coming to that photoionization. This is nothing but the phenomena associated with the ionization by radiation or by photoionization. Okay, interaction radiation with the matters. We know that always all the electrodes which have some uh, some electrons which are situated in the outermost layer of the atom which having some energy potential barrier. If we could able to give the energy, to those electrons. Okay, this will come back to this will gain the energy, and there is a possibility of these electrons will come out from the atom and they are moving. Okay, so this is what we can call it as photoionization. Okay, two things: excitation of the atom to a higher energy. So I can say it is some atom it having some 7 layers. So if I wanted to bring from 5th layer to 7th layer, I should be able to give the energy to that fifth layer of the some electrons to the energy. Okay, this will gain the energy to the next level. So those situated in the 7th layer, if I could able to give the energy to those electrons, this will come out from knockout and come out from the atom. Okay, and if we could able to continuously supply the energy, okay, these will excite, means from one atomic range to the another atomic range. Okay, so we know that energy neither be created nor be destroyed. Okay, this is h mu, hv is equal to h mu is equal to h mu plus a is equal to a star. This is nothing but this is we have written both the direction. Okay, so once the energy is applied to the atom, this will gain to the supercharged particles. So if this atom wanted to come back to normal state, this sort of energy has to be discharged to the media. Okay, so this is what we need to understand. So lambda is equal to less than or equal to c into h by vi. H is nothing but the Planck's constant, c is the velocity of the light, lambda is the wavelength of the incident radiations. So these are the two things for the responsible the primary ionization. Okay, h means Planck's constant, velocity. Okay, then there are the different things. Okay, one is photoionization, another is the collision. These two are the responsible for the primary ionization. Then coming to the secondary ionization process, so these are the different concepts. First one is electron emission due to positive ion, then due to photons, and metastable. Okay, then we have electron attachment process. First we can understand electron emission due to positive ion impact. So we know that the positive ions are formed due to ionization by collision, that what we understand, and also there is a liberation of the electrons will take places. These positively charges, they travel towards the cathode, towards the cathode. If you can try to understand this, if the total energy of the positive ion, namely some of the kinetic energy because of the motion and the ionization energy, okay, is greater than the twice of the work function of the metal, it should be able to twice the work function of the metal, then there is one additional electrons will be ejected. So this is nothing but second electrons will be neutralized. There are the two electrons, one is responsible for the neutral, another one is the another one which will again interact with the process of the ionization. So this is nothing but it is the probability of the process. Okay, you can consider as gamma. Okay, transient secondary ionization process. It is defined as net yield of electrons per incident of the positive ions. Okay, this is nothing but net yield of electrons per incident of the positive ion. It is mainly depending upon the gas and electrode materials. Okay, that is nothing but the concept of emission due to positive ion impact. Then we have electron emission due to photons. So to cause this electron to escape from the metal, it should give enough energy to the overcome the surface potential barrier. So we should be able to give the energy, required energy to the atom. This will gain the energy and it may reach to the next level, or number of the electrons which are present in the outermost layers because of the gaining of the energy, which may come out from the metal for the electrodes. Maybe I can give the example like UV light is falling on the element. Okay, the photons. The electron emission from a metallic surface, it will take place at this critical condition is h mu, h mu is less than or equal to psi. So this is nothing but where this is defined as okay work function of the metallic electrode, and also depending upon the frequency. Okay, the frequency relationship is given by the psi by h is nothing but okay Planck's constant. Then we have next concept is electron emission due to metastable and the neutral atoms. Generally, metastable elements or molecules is an excited particle whose lifetime is very large. So I can say it is 10 to the power of minus 3. Suppose ordinary electrons having the lifespan is of 10 to the power of minus 8. Means this will lose their property immediately, but this metastable element having the higher energy band compared to that the ordinary particles. So these electrons can be ejected from the metal surface by the impact of the excited atoms, provided at their total energy is sufficient to overcome the work functions. So means always all the electrode having some work function. I can say it is some energy. If we could able to supply that amount of the energy, there is sufficient. It is sufficient to knock, means come out one electron from the atom. These are the responsible for metastable. So this is a metastable element is a leading process in the case of Townsend secondary ionization coefficient. The next one is electron attachment process. Electron attachment process. So it may become attached to the atom or the molecule to form the negative ions are called attachment. However, some of the gases, these are the neutral, but however some and negative ions. Okay, these are attached collisions. So this electron, free vacancy electrons, will attach to the atom, and this behaves like a electron attachment. So because of this attachment, these whole atoms will decided by their property. Some of the examples we can give. Okay, electrical insulating gases, we can give the example for the electron attachment are O2, CO2, okay, Cl2, F2, okay, SF6, all those things. And the electron attachment process can be represented like this: atom plus E, okay, E minus plus K, okay, negative atomic ion. This neutral atom will behave like a negative electric atom plus Ea plus K, where K is nothing but the kinetic energy, okay, and E is nothing but electron affinity. So atoms or molecules have vacancies in their outermost shells. This affinity for the this is our affinity for the electrons. This is very important role in the removal of the free electrons from a ionized gas. So when there is an arcing phenomenon takes place, like in the circuit breakers or the isolators, circuit breakers mainly, okay, like vacuum circuit breaker, SF6 circuit breakers, not on vacuum, it's SF6 circuit breakers and different types. So this is a very important process for the secondary ionization coefficients. The Townsend current growth equation, there are the two things we have to understand. That is a primary responsible from, okay, primary responsible from 1. This is nothing but, when we are moving from cathode to the anode, this is nothing but Townsend first ionization coefficient. When you are moving from anode to the cathode, we can consider the Townsend secondary ionization coefficients. Now we are looking for Townsend current growth equation. Let's see. So when this, okay, when there is an, because of the supply and the electric field between these two, okay, so resulting in there is an electron which is moving, means liberated across the cathode to the, which is moving in the direction of the anode, okay, anode, okay. So these electrons will collide. This is nothing but the ionization, resulting in there is a lot of the ionization process. Free electrons will liberated. I can consider that this is N naught is the electrons are emitted from the cathode. Okay, these are the initial number of the electrons. I can say it may be 5 or 10, whatever the examples, because of the UV light is falling on the element, or by excitation. Sorry, excitation by giving the supply between those two electrodes. Okay, let alpha be the average number of the ionization collision made by electron per centimeter travel in the direction of the field. Let's this electron, okay, which is moving in the direction of electric field per centimeter in the direction of the electric field, okay, how much of the electrons will liberated? I can consider this is the alpha. Alpha is nothing but Townsend first ionization coefficient, which is moving from cathode to the anode element. Consider that, okay, number of the electrons are nx. Nx is nothing but the distance from one electrode to the another electrode is x. I can consider. Initially it is 0, after that it will become d. Okay, this alpha is nothing but Townsend first ionization coefficient. Okay, nx is nothing but total number of the electrons with distance. Okay, this, and dx is nothing but the distance between these two. So try to understand this: alpha into nx into dx. Okay, alpha is Townsend first, these are number of electrons, this is the distance. So if I am considering at the middle, so what is the ionization coefficient? Then the distance dx. Okay, then at the initial stage, if I am considering x is equal to 0, and okay, this is at this point cathode, okay, x is equal to 0, nx is equal to n naught, means number of the initial electrons are n naught. Also, I can consider is dnx by dx is equal to alpha into nx. So by doing the differentiation, I can consider that nx is equal to n naught into exponential value of alpha x. So if the number of the electrons are increasing, so this will linearly will increase. We know what is the exponential value. Okay, if it is minus, it is exponentially decreasing. Then the number of the electrons reaching to the anode, suppose from cathode to the anode, so this is x is equal to d. So this n naught will become nd. Okay, nx is equal to nd, n naught a, and exponential value x will become d. Okay, exponential value become d value. Then the number of the electrons created on the average. Okay, how much of the electrons will create, that we have to understand by, for this equation I am adding both RHS and the LHS with respect to minus n naught value. Okay, for this equation RHS to the LHS I am adding minus n naught, my nd minus n naught and n naught exponential value alpha d minus n naught. So resulting in, by doing the simplification, I will get exponential value of alpha d minus 1 is equal to nd minus n naught divided by n naught. Okay, so therefore average current in the gap, which is equal to the number of the electron travel per second, will be how much of the electrons will travel. This is nothing but, electrons is nothing but, I can consider it as a current. I is equal to I naught into exponential value of alpha d. So where I naught is the initial current at the cathode. Okay, thank you.